Dubai Chamber of Commerce today held its fourth Talk Business at Breakfast event. Keynote speaker was His Excellency Sultan bin Nasser Al Suwaidi, Governor of the Central Bank of the UAE. The Business at Breakfast events are an initiative of the Dubai Chamber to broaden the communication channels between senior UAE government officials and Dubai business leaders. Today's event was well attended by a number of ambassadors, officials and over 20 banking CEOs. His Excellency Hamad Buamim, Director General of the Dubai Chamber of Commerce and Industry, opened the session and briefed the audience on some recent key economic indicators for Dubai. His Excellency Sultan bin Nasser Al Suwaidi, Governor of the Central Bank of the UAE, then addressed the audience and discussed a range of topics including advanced world economies, sovereign debt, investment in emerging markets, and the availability of liquidity and credit facilities.
Well, the goals of the central bank to be in line with the international standards. Regularly, we are reviewing these standards as they come from Basel Committee, and now, of course, the Financial Stability Board is doing a lot of regulations, and we are watching these standards as they come from these important international bodies, and we implemented them in the UAE after, of course, taking into consideration the local situation. The global economy is still fragile because economies of advanced countries are not doing very well. They are still suffering from fundamental problems, main problems. Emerging economies are leading the growth at this point in time, but we need a balancing between the two sides of the global economy.
The floor was then opened for questions from delegates, and a frank and open discussion followed. Some of the topics covered included bank guarantees, the UAE implementation of sanctions on Iran, and the availability of credit and liquidity for local SMEs.
Well, it's always useful, yes, for 2 points of view. Obviously to hear from the Governor himself and also talking to the people I was networking with. For the real estate industry, the issue of liquidity is very important because the market really does depend on the amount of lending the banks are going to be doing and at what interest rate. And I think, as the Governor was saying, that it's going to take some time yet for banks to be able to begin lending again because there is still a shortage of deposits in the market.
I think to get people to speak from government to the business sector here in the UAE is a very important thing to achieve, because one of the biggest issues for all business operators here is a sense of a lack of transparency and a sense of a lack of understanding about whether government do know what they're doing or don't know what they're doing, what plans do they have, and how is that going to affect us as business people operating here. And I think that's a huge issue for all businesses here. So the more communication between and direct communication between government and business, I think, can only be a positive.
Today's speaker, the Governor of UAE Central Bank, the name says a lot. They are high-profile speakers, and the best part about the speakers is they're quite honest about their opinion and their feedback. It is a good networking platform for the business delegates because you have today's event, you have 20 CEOs from banks or chairmen and directors sitting in one particular room. You don't get that opportunity anywhere else.